Hey, you guys, Desmond here, and welcome back to our channel. As always, I am one of your amazing hosts, Desmond.
And I'm LaCresha.
And this is the Unapologetically Honest Show, where we give our unapologetically honest opinions on our favorite TV shows, etc., etc. Before before we get into it, I have to remind everyone to give us a like, leave us a comment, and subscribe, honey. And especially comments, because I like seeing the comments. Like, you don't have to agree with us. If you disagree, tell me why you disagree. Just don't get crazy, because I'm petty.
Or disrespectful.
Don't be disrespectful. We can have a conversation, okay? And hit the subscribe button. Today we are here to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race, season 14, episode, was this 5 now? 5? I think so. Yeah,
Are we 5 weeks into the year already?
Yeah. So save a week. Save a week, Lord. Save a queen. Save a queen. So overall, what did you think about this episode?
This was a good episode.
It was. And one thing I've noticed about this season, I'm really liking the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I'll be like, girl, what was this challenge? So far, the challenges have been cute. Maybe they got some new writers in coming in, be like, ooh, let's do this, let's do that, fresh eyes or something. But so far, they're doing good. The only thing I have issue with is doing 2 acting-based challenges
back to back.
And then we're going to do a design challenge next week. So really, you just went design, acting, acting, design. Now, don't get me wrong. I think we should do more design challenges. That's like a basic drag queen skill that you need to have. So I would love more design challenges, especially in a longer season. So yes, I'm okay with that. But it's just like, it's kind of weird. Design, acting, acting, design.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't make the rules. I'm just here to review the show. Okay. So, yeah, but I'm really enjoying the season. I'm excited for more, and I'm ready to get into it. So let me share this here screener. If it'll let, there we go. All right, here we are. Let me make it bigger. There we go. So we start off the episode saying goodbye once again to Alyssa Hunter, who shouldn't have went home. But anyway, Carrie is here reading the message. Believe in yourself, Paris. Latina queen. Oh, we're gonna miss you. And then, she was doing all that screaming, time I'm finna show you ugly. We're gonna talk about that ugly she tried showing. They once again congratulated Miss Angie on her second win. What is that? $12,500 in her pocket now. Lovely, lovely. I'm proud of you. Lady Camden got on my nerves immediately when this episode started. Honey, we're still in the beginning of the season.
That part.
Why are you so upset that you're not on the top? At this point, I would be thankful I'm still in the competition.
Exactly. I mean, my thing is it's a competition. You've seen people who didn't win nothing but the very last challenge and still managed to win the whole season. Girl, hush.
And I'm like, give us some time, honey. Let the fillers leave. Because obviously you're doing something right. Because you're safe.
If you keep being safe.
Yeah, I agree. Like, just relax. Just relax. It's gonna come. Like, I can understand if we're like 8-9 weeks in, I haven't been in the top yet, then you should be worried.
Exactly.
Then you should be worried. But right now, honey, it's only week 3, 4. I don't know. So many weeks.
So many weeks.
So many weeks. Bring it down a little bit. Bring it down.
Simmer down.
So we come into the next day in the workroom and we're missing somebody. I'm
just really glad they noticed she was gone, regardless of whether they actually noticed or production told them she was missing.
Well, little T, Angie was on the Roscoe viewing party, and apparently before they walk into the workroom, they're separated. So when they walked in, they didn't initially notice Cornbread was gone. They said one of the producers whispered, "Look at Cornbread Station." And they all looked, and then that's what started the conversation.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But RuPaul enters and announced that
Our dearly beloved cornbread.
Left them a little message. And in that message that she didn't make her bed for, listen, if the bed's gonna be seen, make sure it's made. That's all.
I love the wallpaper, but I don't know. I can see how they would get depressed if that's what them hotel walls was looking like.
That part, like, can we get a pop of color or something?
Dang. I mean, it's nice wallpaper, but that is so dreary. You got the one window and you're stuck in there for Lord knows how many hours a day until you get to do whatever. Jeez.
But yeah, so Cornbread basically said that she rolled her ankle, had to go to the doctor. Doctor said 6 to 8 weeks off your feet, which means she's unable to compete in the competition.
Yes, and I watched her what you're packing, and apparently it was like once you're out of the bubble, you're just out of the competition, period. So,
which I find weird because they let 3 people into the bubble this week.
Well, maybe they were in the bubble already, like they knew that those challenges were coming, and so it was like, okay, you tested negative, but blah blah blah.
And I completely understand that. It was just like, I've seen it, and then all of All-Star 6, they had to bring somebody in every 2-3 days. And they were touching each other on that main stage. You know what I'm saying? And like, I know they're doing everything to keep everybody safe. I'm not questioning that. It's just, once you leave the bubble, you're basically out. But hey, it happened. And hopefully we'll get to see Cornbread for season 15. Usually when there's an injury or a medical reason that the person had to leave, they usually get to come back the next season. Let's hope so.
We love you, Demorquisha, or however you say her name.
I hope she gets another chance next season. And if she do, I feel bad for those girls.
Yes. Because I was rooting for her big time.
I think we all were. Like, that hurt.
It did. I was tearing up.
Because I noticed that they walked in and they was doing their little chat. I'm like, I don't see Cornbread. Where's Miss Cornbread? And then that's when they started mentioning, I'm like, oh no. I thought she quit.
I did too, especially after how down she looked last week.
Yeah. And I was like, oh no, did Cornbread quit on us? I'm like, no.
And I was just like, no, because if you quit, you can't come back.
And I'm like, no, I understand. You know, you got to do what's best for your mental health, but no.
Yeah, it wasn't mental health, it was physical health.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to miss her. Here's a few.
Ooh, but did you see her in that unpacking, though?
She looked amazing.
Oh, God, I'm so jealous.
But here is a few of their reactions of hearing the news. She left a message for She left a message for Willow, Carrie, and Jasmine. Willow got the most touching one, in my opinion.
Of course.
You know, we've been seeing their friendship blossom over the past few weeks, so I can imagine. And I've noticed so far, including the queen that goes home this episode, all 4 of them are from Group 1. I'm like, is that something you trying to tell us about Group 1? Who had the better show, if you ask me? But I'm be quiet. So Cornbread is officially out of the competition, which means we both lost somebody in our top 4.
Yes.
So I believe we're both down to 3. We'll go into more detail later, but just glaring now, yeah, it looks like we're both down to 3.
Yeah.
So RuPaul announces, would you call this a mini challenge? Yeah, I guess, because it determined who's on what team.
Right.
So I will say it's a mini challenge. It was a mini
challenge.
Just
there were no winners.
Yeah, there's no winners. The pit crew comes in and RuPaul announces that they have to place the balloon between them and the pit crew and pop it, and whatever color confetti comes out is the team they're on. Did you like this mini challenge?
I thought it was hilarious, especially when Maddie went up there.
It was so funny. Like, it's just
everybody was like, yes.
It was just so much. It was so much fun. Like, it lifted the room up because, you know, everybody was so sad. I was so sad about Carrie not Carrie. I was so sad about cornbread. I'm like, oh God, what are we gonna do? And this really picked up the spirit in the room. So this mini challenge came at the right time.
Yes, we know who all the switches are now.
Yeah, Deja had an issue, but she was the first one to have an issue popping the balloon.
So she's the bottom.
You don't know what she be doing. Anyway, and here's Maddie. His face
was to die for.
Paul said he was next.
And everybody just busted up laughing.
It was too funny.
It was too much.
Oh, it was a hoot and a half. And it took
he closing his eyes trying to pop.
Yeah, it took a few times, but Maddie got it. There was Carrie, Willow, Daya, and Lady Camden. And
bottom.
Oh my God, I love Georges. This was too cute.
Yes. Itty bitty Georges.
Just the smile. Georges.
Mm-hmm. She looked like a 12-year-old.
So funny. Trying look at everybody behind Georges.
Now I don't understand when the hands behind the back became a thing, because everybody before that had hands on hips.
I don't know. I guess just what Georges did, just nervous. I don't know. But everybody, this was just too funny. Even RuPaul was almost on the ground laughing at this. This was just too funny. Then we finally had the last two that did theirs. So these are how the teams fill it out. Team Orange was Diabetti, Carrie Colby, Angeria Paris Van Michels, and Georges. The green team was Lady Camden, Diabetti, and Bosco. And then the purple team was Maddie Morphosis, Willow Pill, Kennedy, I said her last name, Jasmine Kennedy, and Orion Story. So RuPaul announces that this week they're doing a PSA for the first eliminated queens called Save a Queen. How do you think you would do in a challenge like this?
You know what? Because I grew up watching those retarded PSAs. In the back of my head, the whole time I was doing it, I had that music on. Forget Sarah Bareilles. I took it all the way back to whatever her name was, Sarah something, and been like, every day a queen goes home first.
And like I said, it was a different type of challenge and I really enjoyed it, but we'll get more into that in a second. But we got season 7 first eliminated Tempest du Jour. Yes, season 9 first eliminated James Mansfield. And from the House of Hall, the first eliminated queen from season 13.
The Maggie
Hall. Save a Queen, there it is. I will say this. This was a really good showing for these 3 queens.
Yes.
You know, me and you've had this conversation that rumor has it this year they're going to shoot an early outs all-stars, but with only queens that went out first, second, third. So this really kind of, I think they're trying to,
hint at it, like, see if maybe we'd be receptive.
Really gonna feel
we want it, Rue. We want it.
We want it because some of these queens who went out early are sickening. Like if you can get a Kahana Matrice in there, if you could find Alyssa Summers, I don't know where she is, find her, bring her back, because I thought she was amazing. Like, and get pork chop, please. Please get pork chop. I would like some pork chops. I feel bad for some of the early out queens because we don't really get to know them as well as the other ones. So if this is the case, yes, bring them back. Bring Dahlia Sin back. This will be the perfect chance for you to get your boo back. So it's just like, yes, bring these queens in. If you're going to do this early out all-stars, do it.
Oh, I would peg him so good.
Save a queen. So Tempest went with this first team here.
The orange team.
James went with this team here. I think they were purple.
The purple team.
And then Kimura Hall went with the green team.
The green team.
So they worked all together. They're doing their rehearsals. We're going to actually discuss the challenge later. But I only did this just to show Michelle. She looked lovely.
Yes.
She looked lovely. And she was really good. I felt like she was really helpful. One thing I've noticed with the regular seasons of Drag Race. We're not going to talk about All-Star 6 when she got up and did the job for them. I want to say since like maybe season 12, she's been really productive and really positive with her critiques while sitting in the director's chair when they do these acting-based challenges. Because you remember them earlier seasons, she was just straight up bitchy.
Right.
It wouldn't help and be like, well, you need to get it together. I've noticed, and even with UK3, she's really giving them critique and giving them positive reinforcement so that they can get the best out of them. And I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, I think she's finally starting to realize like these people are not coming in as actresses, you know, or knowing how to act. So you just got to kind of guide them just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not do the job for them.
Like she did in All-Star 6. But anyway, so after the challenge, the queens are returning and they're getting prepared for the runway. And, you know, they're sitting here discussing, oh, we all did good. I did good. And I ain't gonna lie, if nobody else saw what I did, baby, I'll be up in there like, I did great, honey.
Yeah.
I could have bombed and know I bombed. But guess what? I'm sitting there like, yep. Oh, I did so good, honey. Yes, honey. Y'all better be ready because it sounds like I'm gonna be $5,000 richer, honey. That'll be me if I would have bombed it. Even if I would have did great, I would have came in with that attitude. I'm not gonna let y'all know I fucked up. Not on Beyonce's internet. No, I'm not. Nope. But also we got a moment with Georges basically explaining how they started drag at the age of 16. 16. They went to a Pride event. Hold on, I got the screenshot. There it is. Went to a Pride event at 16. Got on the stage, wore it out. There was a club promoter there. Asked her if she could, you know, perform at the club tonight. And Georges is like, I'm 16.
Right.
So had to get with the club manager and she could come as long as her parents came with her. And I was wondering, you know, was it legal?
Parents are there.
I don't think that was legal, regardless if you have guardianship in there or not. Especially if you're serving alcohol, I don't think that was legal.
Again, parents were there. I mean, it's legal to get married in California at 16 as long as your parents are okay with it. They sign off on it. It's good.
I don't know, friend. I don't know. You know,
I know people who got married that young.
You know, this was during the Texas time because you know she's from Texas. And you know, us Texas, you know, we'll kind of look past the rules and make up our own.
That part.
So, like I said, I don't know if it's illegal, but
it probably wasn't. But again, parents were there, so if anybody was going to get arrested, it would have been parents.
But the whole family came out and supported, and I thought that was amazing. You know, being 16 and being able to have your family come clear out the club so that to watch you do your first drag performance.
Right.
So I thought that was a cute little story. I'm like, come on, Georges. I was really worried. I'm like, oh Lord, is she finna go home?
That's what it read as. They're starting to catch on that we're catching on, so now they're starting to switch it up.
Now they're trying to throw some curveballs at us. But then we got a little bit of Willow, which made me worried about Willow too. I'm like, oh Lord, in the rehearsal, she looked like she did good. But basically sharing the story about Willow and their mom and how she's had her disease since birth, and her sister also has it as well. And that at 15, her older brother gave her a kidney. I was like, oh.
Wow.
Oh, I love that. You know, a lot of people say, oh yeah, for my sibling, I would give them blah, blah, blah. But he actually did it for his sibling.
Right.
And I love that. And, you know, we got a little sad moment with Willow basically saying I'm 26 and I feel like my body's already shutting down on me.
Oh, trust me, I know the feeling.
And it was just like, wow, it's so amazing how her and Evie found each other because, you know, Evie has a condition as well. And Evie's not going to be able to do drag forever.
Right.
And eventually Evie's going to have to shut it down because Evie's going to end up in a wheelchair. I remember Evie sharing that story. So I'm so glad they were able to find each other so that they could support each other through these difficulties that only they know, that they understand, that nobody else will ever be able to understand but them. So
right.
I'm glad they found a community and a family so that they can go through these hardships together and have the full support. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that was, yeah. We're moving on to the main stage. We have Mama Ru. What did we think of this look here?
I like it.
I really do like it. I really like this so much.
I kind of missed her entrance and didn't feel like rewinding. Mm-hmm. So I just saw the top, but I liked the top. Mm-hmm. But now seeing the whole thing, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'd wear that.
I really like this. I wish she would have wore something like this for, the first episode of UK versus the World, but hey.
Yeah. Does she have like two separate stylists? Does she have one in America?
It is all
so the same why person. The fluff? Are we not getting this? Like we've gotten this excellence on regular seasons, but on all of the outsourced seasons, we're not getting this.
I don't know. And here's the thing, maybe they realized it because, they shot season 14 after they shot UK 3, after they shot UK versus the World. They're just now airing at the same time. So maybe by the time they got back to the States, they're like, okay, we really need to step these up. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But of course, we have Michelle Visage looking lovely as always. Ross Matthews looking all skinny. And this week's guest judge, Ava Max. What did you think of Ava Max as a guest judge?
She was cute. I've never heard of her, but she was cute.
You've never heard of Ava Max?
No. Don't kill me.
No King and Queens? No, well, My Head, My Heart, I've heard it in passing. There's another song by Miss Thing that I really do enjoy. Give me 1 second and I will tell you, because I have my playlist on Spotify here. So let me.
There may be a possibility I've heard some of her music and just didn't realize it. All right. There's always a possibility.
Ava. Oh yeah, I got so much of her. So am I. King and Queen. Sweet But Psycho. That's the one that was at the top of my head. Sweet But Psycho, honey. That woo. But yes, she's starting to become a little pop girl, and I'm here for it. She's getting there. She's getting there. I'm not a big fan of the My Head in My Heart song. I do love the sample of it, and I think that's what brings me back to listening it every time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I enjoy her music, and I felt like she was a decent judge. She didn't say much, but when she said something, it felt like she was genuine. It felt like she was giving good criticism. So yeah, overall, she looked stunning. So that was great as well. So RuPaul. The category for this week is spring. What was it?
Yes.
It was something into spring. Sprung in the spring?
I don't know.
Basically,
on spring.
Basically, spring is the category.
Spring. So, spring.
It was something. It was sprung in the spring, something like that. But anyway, what would your spring look would have been?
So, me, classic Jessica Rabbit, or it would have been like some play on Jessica Rabbit where it would have been like purple pastels, with the bunny ears, or it would have been a Stepford housewife.
Got you. Now, I pulled 2 reference photos because they were the first thing, because me, when I hear the category, I pause and I wonder. So when I was
sending you pictures.
When I wonder, I had 2 things that popped in my head. The first one was a Nicki Minaj look, so I would have done a Nicki inspired look to this. Uh-huh. This was the first thing that popped in my head. Uh-huh. And I'm like, okay, flowers, springs. I would have done these in more pastel-like colors, mm-hmm. and more, springtime-like flowers, but it would have been this silhouette. Right. And then I thought of Easter Sunday, and I'm like, okay, well, if I were to wear something to Easter Sunday, it probably would have been something similar to this. So these were the two that first popped into my head. Which one would I've done? Probably this one because it looks like it's easier to get together. But knowing me, I would really try to get this one. I would really try. Be like, I would love to do a Nicki inspired look. So I would try my damnedest. But if I couldn't, baby, good. This right here will get me there, and it will look just fine.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to the runway. Up first, we have George's. I love this.
It was cute.
This is really cute. This is cute. I'm like, oh, this might save her. Well, I was wrong, but you know, I was like,
might being the operative word there.
Right. You know, I'm like, okay, but this is cute. This is cute. But I really enjoyed this.
I like the hair. The hair was good.
The hair is right.
Yes, that was my favorite part, was the hair. It's giving me little 1940s, giving me little geisha girl, little Dita Von Teese. Yeah, it was everywhere.
Yes, I really enjoyed this. Up next, Carrie Colby, honey.
I'm not quite sure what monster she thought she was trying to be.
I don't like this at all. I tried liking it too. I tried. And I get it. She's a bouquet of flowers. I get it.
Right.
It's not executed well at all.
No, her mannerisms.
Because you know I love me some Carrie.
That part. She could have did something else with that.
And she was making a point to make sure she wasn't pretty, but especially in the challenge, if that's your idea of ugly, honey, you really.
You put some foundation on your face, lined your lips a little bit, and didn't put eyeshadow on. And that was her version of ugly.
Honey.
That's like all these men getting Oscars for not being buff in a movie, but a woman has to sit here and put on full prosthetics just to win an Oscar.
Talk about it. Up next is Angeria Paris Van Michels, but you can call her Angie. What did you think of this look?
I really wish it would have fit her better. The big cups just kind of killed it.
It took me out of the illusion. It really did. I'm not sure if she was intending to have her breastplate with this outfit and then something happened last minute and she didn't wear it. But it seemed like it didn't fit at the top. And I noticed I noticed it more when she was walking off the stage. You can see the back of it creasing up. And I'm like, uh-oh. And I'm like, okay, she'll just be safe this week, you know. But I like where she was going, but this is a soft too. I still like it.
Right. I think if she'd have had the breastplate on with it, it would have looked better. The illusion would have been there that was full body, because not having the breastplate kind of made it sag. And then the only thing I don't really like are all those flowers at the bottom, because it takes away from, like, I like it enough for what it is, but it just takes away her shape. But other than that, it was a pretty decent dress. I mean, she did what she could, but the breastplate, baby, you should have brought the breastplate.
Up next is Diabetic. Girl, what you got on?
For somebody who sews their own outfits, you'd have thought that she'd have did a little bit better.
Because you can sew doesn't mean you have taste. Now I got to give it to her. Most of her looks I've really liked, so I don't want to sit here and say she don't have taste. But this one confused me. I was confused.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because pantsuits on Drag Race is extremely dangerous.
It can either go extremely well or it can be extremely dangerous.
So I don't know.
I don't like this.
I don't like the asymmetrical. It throws her off.
My least favorite look of the week.
Yeah, I agree. Even with the wannabe Ariana Grande bunny ears.
I didn't like this. I love you, Daya, but I didn't like this. Next is Maddie motherfucking Morphosis. Baby, let me tell you.
I loved this.
Maddie walked out in this. I was like, the only thing is Maddie's walk. Maddie, you got to get that walk down, honey.
Maddie still walks like a man. I've been complaining about Maddie's walk this whole time.
And it was so obvious. Like the other times it was kind of, you can see it, but this one you can see it bad.
Yes.
Maddie, you got to work on that walk, okay? Because
Maddie, everybody tucks. I'm gonna need you to tuck, darling.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Maddie's mentioned tucking before. I think they tuck.
I'm sure she tucks, but she don't walk like she tucks. She still has that wide stance and walks like a man.
But yes, work on that walk because this outfit was everything. And I'm like, this is a different interpretation of spring, and I love that because I wouldn't have thought of this at all.
Exactly. I saw that and I said, oh, Maddie trying to win.
Honestly, I thought Maddie was going to be at the top, but we'll discuss it.
I did too.
We'll discuss a little later. Up next is Jasmine Kennedy. I love this.
A little Poison Ivy moment.
Thank you. Gave me very Poison Ivy, and I lived for it.
Yes, with her Alyssa looking self.
This was good, honey. I'm like, you go, Jasmine. Now, I gotta say, Jasmine been killing these runways.
Yeah.
You know, that first episode, she kind of, threw me off like, girl, what are these looks? But ever since the ball, like the ball looks were terrible. But ever since the ball, like she's really been like the J-Lo look, amazing. This look, amazing. Like, come on, Jasmine. Come on, Jasmine.
Still sitting there whining though.
Up next is Orion's story. I love this.
I like it too. Maybe I would have went with like a baby doll negligee instead of just full on that.
My thing for Orion is she gives me very Pearl on the runway. You know how Pearl had them dead eyes and was always looked like Pearl was out of it? Orion's like that too. And that bothered me with Pearl, and it's bothered me with Orion. I'm like, give us a little, serve us a little face.
Oh, maybe they're on Adderall.
You're just walking down on, well, she did mention that she has ADHD. She mentioned that in her Meet the Queens. Not Meet the Queens, her What You Packing.
Yeah.
So it could be that, but baby, she just looks so dead in the eyes, like, I'm here. But yeah, but overall, I love this look. When I saw it, I immediately thought House Bunny, one of my favorite movies. I love House Bunny. People be hating on that, but I'm like, that was funny. Okay. But yeah, I like this look, real cute. Willow Pill. Yes, ma'am.
I thought it was adorable, and I love those shoes.
Yeah, I love this from chimney to toe. Love this. Like, it's a tie between her and Maddie on who's my favorite of the week is. They both did just so damn good.
Right?
It's just, I love it. I love it. And then the help.
With the little itty hand.
What would have made it better is if she would have had the drops of blood going down the back of the dress. I think that would have took it the next level, but still, it's amazing. Tens across the board. Tens across the board. Daya Betty. Now, this is the best screenshot I could get of Daya. She would not be still on that runway.
She's a butterfly.
She would not be still on that runway, so I can get a good screenshot. But this one's pretty decent, so I'm not going to fuss too.
She looks like a little nymph.
That's what she said she was.
Yeah, and then everybody keeps throwing shade at Asia.
Baby, when Michelle brought up Asia O'Hara, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna need Asia to come on back to Drag Race so that we can remind, so English Jasmine, so we can think of something else when we think of Asia, and she better bring a butterfly look too.
Yes,
she better. Kind of like how Shay brought a rose look. You better bring a butterfly look.
Some redemption for them butterflies, cause baby.
But when it comes to Daya Betty.
This is glam crystal method.
Oh, when it comes to diabetes, I like this look. I really do. I really like this look.
It was cute, and I like the little pixie
Very
cut.
cute. Very cute.
The lips fit.
The only thing is the shoes. It kind of takes you out of the illusion. Because now I'm like, are you a stripper?
A stripper nymph.
A stripper nymph. Hey, she got to make her money somehow.
Hey.
Lady motherfucking Camden. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Come over here so we can have some tea. Come over here.
Tea?
She came out in this. I'm like, yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It was right. It was right. And hold on. I got, bam! The tea that was in the cup, honey.
The tea.
Spilt the tea, honey. Spilt it all over the stage. All over the stage. What did you think of this look?
I loved it. I loved the fabric. It did remind me vaguely of like tablecloth, but yeah, it was a good outfit. And the tea bags for earrings.
I thought that was a cute touch as well. I did. And then last but not least, it's Bosco. Now, Bosco did a reveal. When she came out in this, I'm like, oh, she's a cloud. She's like the cloud that's over Maddie. I'm like, okay, that's cute. You know, it's nothing to write home about, but it's cute. It's cute. Love the legs. Her walk was everything. But then she revealed to this lovely dress right here. I thought the dress was cute, and I thought the reveal was smooth. You know, sometimes the reveal could be all chunky and not smooth like. It was done effortlessly. And I'm like, come on, Bosco, this was a cute. Overall, it gets a 2. Overall, gets a 2.
Yeah, it was toot worthy.
Yeah, it's toot worthy. Is it my favorite? No.
No.
But it was cute. It was cute. So we got to say hello to the eliminated queens again. Up first is Tempest. What did you think of Tempest's look?
Were they aware of what the theme was supposed to be, or were they just like bring your best drag?
Kimura Hall was on the Roscoe. I was watching that earlier, and they didn't tell them the category. They just said bring whatever you want to wear. And I think it's funny how all of their looks really does scream spring, except Tempest don't, but the other two,
right,
really give me springtime. And I'm like, I think that's funny how they kind of went in, but I love this look from Tempest.
Right. Tempest would have fit in with the other challenge, the ball.
Yeah, she would have fit in with the ball. This is the resort wear right here.
Yes. I own this clubhouse. Get off the 18th hole, it's mine.
But I love Tempest. Like, Tempest is one of the queens that I did my own research on. And I'm glad I did, because Tempest is funny. And Tempest has done a lot of stuff with World of Wonder since their elimination. So if this early out season is true, she's already on good terms with WoW. So yeah, come on in, honey. Come on in the room. But yeah, this is lovely. I love this. Two. Up next is James Mansfield. This was cute. I wish it fitted a little bit more. It looked like it was just a tad bit too big. But I loved it. What did you think of James' look?
It was cute. I like the little beehive and flowers.
And plus, James is a huge wrestling fan. So that's another early out queen that I've kept in touch with. Because I found out James was a huge wrestling fan and has actually a YouTube channel where she discussed wrestling. And I'm like, I love you. You're mixing.
I like the good use of the scrunchies as sleeve holders.
Yeah. I like that too. So like James is another one. I'm just, yes, I love you, James. Come back soon. And then Kimura Hall
she said, I'm gonna let you have it.
She said, Carrie ain't the only one who's gonna bring an original gown with her,
okay? How do you get the money for these?
I don't know, but Kimura has said before she has a lot of Bob Mackey's dresses.
Yes. And
I know those aren't cheap.
At all. And I sat there and the first words out my mouth were sample size, bitches.
This was amazing. Out of the 3, this one's my favorite of the 3.
Yes.
Just 8.
With the veil and everything, just sweep them away, baby. Sweep them away.
Here's all the looks here. So whose was your favorite look of the week?
Maddie.
Yeah, I was torn between Maddie and Willow, but I gotta give it to Maddie. Give it to Maddie. Maddie showed out with that look this week.
She did.
Did. But here are I forgot. We got to go through the damn challenge. Save a Queen. The song was really cute. I'm like, they need to release that song. That was cute. But what I also liked is that they actually showed screenshots of a lot of the queens who went home first. Like Kelly Mantle, Alyssa Summer, Naysha Lopez, Penetration, Pork Chop. Like, are y'all trying to tell us the cast?
Ooh.
Is this the cast?
Hey, I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus those 3, that would be 9. And you know they love doing a cast of 9 these days.
Yeah, but Vanjie was also in there.
But Vanjie was more of a background. These are the ones that got the upfront shot. Like Vanjie, you saw behind, who was it? It was when they were all together singing the song. You can see Vanjie, you saw some Soju, and you saw other ones back, but they didn't get like a upfront, like, here we are, look, write my message, like the mother was. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I wouldn't be mad at it. But at first we have the queens who were on Team Tempest. Up first is Georges. She had too many words.
Yeah, she struggled.
And it's really shitty because her teammate should have been like, hey, you need to cut that by half.
Right. Like, let's edit this.
That would have been me. That needs to be turned down. Like, way too many words.
Right. Especially for somebody who doesn't speak English that well. I don't understand why she wrote so much either.
She speaks English fine to me.
She's very hard to understand sometimes.
I guess that's you, honey. But my thing was, and if you were going to have a lot of words, you need to speed it up. Like, talk faster. Talk faster. If you want to have all these words, speak faster. And she dropped the ball, in my opinion.
I like the shoes, though.
Carrie Colby, this is not ugly.
No. This is just Judge Judy on a bad day.
Yeah. I thought this was funny. I'm like, yes. Because Candy was wrong for calling her out like that. Candy was wrong. So I thought this was good. Angeria, hilarious.
Yes, always.
Deja, funny. I thought she was really good in this challenge.
And the good thing about Angie was Angie gave us a different character.
No, it seemed like the same character to me. It was just that character calm.
Yeah.
But
as long as she don't do what Simone did.
Oh, I have a feeling she is, and I can see it now. 10 episodes from now, I'll be sick of it. If they do more acting challenges. It's only if they do more acting challenges. But yeah, overall, I thought this team did a good job, except for Georges. Next, we have Team James. First was Maddie, who I thought was hilarious.
Oh my God, Maddie did so good. I thought Maddie was gonna win this.
Maddie did so good. I was hooting and hollering.
Yes.
But pretty much the whole team. As I'm about to say it, I was going to say, except for Jasmine Kennedy, here she is. She struggled.
She did.
Orion struggled.
Yes.
And Orion didn't fit what everybody else was bringing on the commercial.
No.
But Willow was great. So half of the team did good. Half of the team did good. I thought
Willow picked it up.
I thought Willow had some funny lines in there. So yeah, these two did great. These two did not. And as you can see,
that's funny that they're on the middle and the side. The two best outfits on the runway are in the middle.
And then we got Team Kimura. First, we had Diabetes. She did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when she was crying and untucked about, I haven't been in the critique, that girl, shut up.
Why are you guys like? I don't understand. Okay, look, I understand actually because when I
Please
switched,
explain it to me.
because when I switched jobs, I went from working where you work to working where I work now. And the first week, I got my critique from my new then supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came in that first week, she came in the next week, and then I didn't see her no more for the rest of the semester. And I was like, what's going on? Like, how come she's not coming in talking to me? How come I haven't seen her? How come this, that, and the third? And I was so worried about it for like the longest time. Then finally, like towards the end, I was like, you know what? If I was doing a bad job, I am pretty sure she would come and say something to me. Yeah. Because I got so used to what it was like out there, where it was like, if you're doing good, that's when they want to come talk to you. That's when they want to come and admonish you, as opposed to when you're doing bad and then they ignore you. So this time it was a switch where like, oh, you're doing good. That's why they're ignoring you, because they don't feel like they need to come talk to you. And I was like, oh, okay, well, never mind. I need her to get that mindset. Like, if you're doing bad, then that's when they're going to keep you. Then you'll be at the bottom, and then you have something to boohoo about.
Yeah, this is a common thing that happens on multiple seasons. When they're talking about, I'm just safe. And don't get me wrong, I understand you want the critique. You want to know what I need to work on, or if what I'm doing is right. Trust me, I get it. But when it's time to get your critique, honey, you're going to get it. And it makes me feel like she's going to get that critique real soon, and it's not going to be the critiques she want to hear.
Right, because she wants to hear, oh, I'm so great, I'm so perfect.
And like, I get it. You went home first in your group. So that's another level of, oh my God, am I doing good enough? Because I've already been sent on once.
Right.
I get it. Relax, honey. Relax. Have a good time.
Exactly. Look, let me safe my way to the top. Safe my way to the top, running around.
Art Simone did it. Well, Art Simone did go home. They both went home.
Look, Art Simone cheated.
She did not. She did nothing wrong. That was the
okay. No, Art Simone got cheated out of a positive reception from me.
But it's not Art Simone's fault, because I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was,
that's why I said she got cheated out of a positive reception. Not necessarily that it was her fault. She just, somebody else did something that made me not like her.
But because somebody else did it, that's why I'm okay. Am I upset she came back for no reason? Hell yeah. Do that I dislike the queen? No, I love Art Simone. She had my favorite verse in the I'm a winner, baby. I'm A to the R. Let me serve you the tea. Shower me a shrimp. I'll be your Barbie. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry. She did that verse. If there was going to be a winner for that challenge, Art would have got that win, because maybe she ate. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let's get back to the U.S.
We're back. Come back home, dear. Come back home.
Lady Camden, who did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Oh, I was laughing. It was just so funny. And I was so glad the judges thought it was funny too, because a lot of times I'll laugh, but the judges don't. And I'm like,
but it was funny.
And then sometimes the judges will start laughing, and I'm like,
but that wasn't funny.
I'm like, are you trying to push a narrative here?
Yes.
But every time the judges laughed, I did too. I was like, okay, we're on the same page, okay. But I thought she did an amazing job. And then last, but definitely not least, we have Bosco. I liked Bosco's different approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was funny. I did. And plus, she directed the whole thing, honey. She didn't give Michelle a chance to say a word. She was on it. Now be scared. Faster, go. Michelle's just sitting there like, you hear the girl, go.
Right?
But yeah, this was a good week for Bosco. Would I have given her the win? Well, we'll discuss that here in a second.
Maybe so that's why she won.
They did great. Here's they all. Look at them there. And then
Sarah McLachlan.
She said this is pretty messed up. And some more tea. They didn't see this on the main stage. This they must have got this shot in the past few months. But the queen said they didn't see this until they watched the episode live. So that was an extra little like, oh, you thought you was gonna know what was happening. Bam, here's Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Whoever mic'd her did a very bad job because I can see her mic.
Yeah, you can see her mic, but it was too funny. I'm like, of course you had to get Sarah. You had to. And it made me think that the lip sync song was going to be Angel, the song that's in the dog commercials. But then I'm like, no, Ava Max is there, so it has to be an Ava song.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw her, I'm like, oh yeah, we're finna get a Sarah song.
Maybe next week.
Oh God, could you imagine them two doing that slow ass song?
Yeah, that's not a good lip sync song.
I think Georges would have did okay. I think the outcome would still be the same. I think the outcome would have still been the same, but yeah, that. But anyway, whoop, whoop, whoop. They all did great. Here is your tops and bottoms. In the top, you have Angie, you have Lady Camden, and you have Bosco. In the bottom, you have Georges, you have Jasmine Kennedy, and Orion's story. Do you agree with the tops and bottoms of this week? I don't. I agree with the bottoms.
I agree with the bottoms.
I fully agree with the bottoms. And I love you, Angie. I do. But I would have switched Angie out with Maddie.
Yeah.
It's just, she did good in the challenge, but the runway just kind of knocked it down for me. Me personally, if this was Desmond's Drag Race, Maddie would have been there.
Yeah.
Lady Camden, fully agree, should be there. Bosco's another one, question mark. But when I'm looking at the other queens, I don't think there's anybody else I would replace her with. So I'm like, okay, top 3 for sure. I couldn't think of anybody to replace Bosco with. I'm like, yeah, others did good, but I didn't laugh at them like I laughed at Bosco's. It was a different take to it, which I did find funny. And the runway was decent enough. So I'm like, okay, I could see Bosco being here in the top.
Okay.
But Bosco got the win.
That I don't agree with.
I was confused. I really thought I was going to go to Lady Camden because it was a very Lady Camden episode. We got a lot of confessionals. We got that whole I need to be in the top thing at the beginning of the episode. So like it would have made sense storytelling wise to give the win to Lady Camden. So like, don't get me wrong, happy for Bosco. She did a good job. I'm not saying she didn't do a good job, but I'm questioning this win. I am questioning it. I am. But like, I'm not upset with it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people win, you're like, okay, that's not the choice I would have made, but I see why they won. And this is what I feel with Bosco. I wouldn't have chosen it, but I can see why Bosco won. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. But our bottom 2 was Orion and Georges. Do you agree with this bottom 2?
Yes.
I do as well. I do. I really do. So they lip sync to, oh Lord, I thought I got the full thing. My Head and My Heart by Ava Max. And poor Orion did not stand a chance.
At all.
At all. Miss Georges ate her lunch, breakfast, and dinner.
Like, had some supper, some brunch in there.
And leftovers for the next day. Like,
oh my
baby. Like you can see I barely got any shots of Orion in here because Georges ate. And here's the thing, Georges wasn't doing anything too crazy except for that move at the end, which I did get. But the rest of it, she was just owning the stage. Like those were
you
real.
Couldn't keep your eyes off of her.
Like she was giving you real 1, 2, 3, 4, but she was giving you the energy. She was giving you the face. She was giving you the performance that you need, and that's something like all the queens need to see. You don't have to do all the flips and tricks and dips. And don't get me wrong, those are nice. But like to give a good lip sync, this is all you got to do.
Right, even if it does look rehearsed.
Like it. Look at this is a stunning shot. This is I took this shot for a reason. She looks gorgeous right here.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Like everything was reflecting right. This might be the icon for the episode. I don't know.
Hey.
Now, she did give us a little boom, boom, boom.
And
so did Orion. I was like, okay, Orion, but we don't care.
Orion started to fall apart though.
Yeah. Georges did a cartwheel and went into a dip. I will say this was a dip. She did not throw herself on the ground. It was done. It didn't look like she hurt herself. So I'm gonna say this was a dip, and not too many people dip on the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Right.
But it was done so effortlessly, so beautiful, beautiful. And even Deja was like, "This is just too much. I'm living. It's too much." Girl, why'd you take off your shoes?
I don't know.
And I think it was
bad enough. There was just so much wrong with this because the bunny ears fell off, and I'm like, okay, you can't really help that. But then the shoes came off, the wig started slipping. I'm like, you didn't have any got to be glue? You didn't have none of that?
Something?
Like everybody knows, just at the very least do that. And
then Jasmine got in there and said, didn't we learn this with June? Why are we taking off our shoes?
That part.
You know, RuPaul, baby, you take off them shoes, you might as well tell him you want to go home.
That part. Because it didn't matter how poor, even if Georges had just stood there, the fact that you took your shoes off would have sent you home.
Would have sent you to the house. And then there's more of Georges eating her up. Then the final pose that, and then look at the people in the background. They're not even looking at Orion. They're all looking at Georges. They are all looking at Georges. Orion's just... There we go. They're all looking at Georges.
He said, let me edit her out real quick. That might be the icon.
And even Ross, like, I felt like Ross wanted to stand up. I feel like Ross wanted to stand up bad. But Georges won the lip sync, which means Orion now has to see if she has that golden ticket inside her chocolate bar. So she opens it up, and it's just chocolate, honey, which means saying goodbye to Orion's story. Next time on RuPaul's Drag Race, we have another design challenge where they have to design looks made out of stuff that Michelle ordered too much on Glamazon Prime.
Glamazon Prime.
But yeah, overall good. I am enjoying this season. It's a fresh from the challenges. There's a few decisions I'm like, girl, what y'all doing? Like the whole bottom two for last week, girl, what was that? Other than that, I ain't got too many complaints, okay? I ain't got too many. So I'm enjoying some
choices, but other than that,
I'm enjoying. I am entertained. I'm here. I'm watching with the glasses. These right here. But hey, it's time to wrap up this episode. So before we go, I just have to remind everybody once again, subscribe to the channel. We're getting there. I think we're like a few away from 20 now. We are really going there. So go ahead and subscribe, honey. We're a hoot and a half. And honey, I'm gonna show you a real hoot nanny, okay? I'll show you a real hoot nanny. And I am shocked all these years nobody has said hoot nanny on Drag Race. I'm like, all these country bitches we had up in here and nobody said hoot nanny. Not a single one. Or at least it didn't air that they said hoot nanny.
Right, because I thought we just had one.
Was like a hoot nanny. You could tell they wasn't from the South, honey. And she said hoot nanny. I'm like, I already know what you're talking about, honey. Have a good.
And I'm not even from the South. I just lived here for 11 years.
But you know what a hoot nanny is now?
I do know what a hoot nanny is.
Good old time, honey. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Just a reminder, we will be here Tuesday with the UK versus the world. review. And then also we'll start our Celebrity Big Brother review next week. That'll be fun. So check out the channel. We got a lot of fun things coming. So, LaCresha, where can they find you on the social medias?
They can find me at Cresha McGill. That is CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me in the club, pocket full of but if I'm not there, you can find me on the social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.